Hi, this is John Hilbrands. I'm going to show a little project that I've been working on. I just finished. So this is a standard 18-note music box, and what I did is I converted it to a 30-note music box. My original intention was to build one to handle the 30-note movement, because when you buy them with the 30-note movement, they're in the $500–600 range, sometimes a little bit less, but they're pretty expensive. Whereas this 30-note, this 18-note music box on eBay was only $30. So with a little conversion, we're able to put one of the movements only into it and make it work. So you can see that this is one of the Island of Capri music boxes, and they have a lot of them on eBay. Every day I see about 5 of them. So they're fairly common. The adaptation did change a few screw holes, and the winder hole is a little bigger, but compared to building one, it's a lot better. Now those movements are the beautiful movements by Orpheus, and those movements they're $89 on Rockler, but they only have one on Rockler, and if you were to get your pick, they're about $250. So $89 on Rockler gets you this one, which is called Waltz of the Flowers by Tchaikovsky, and it's from the Nutcracker. Let's see if it's going to stop, because it was pretty almost unwound. Yeah, I guess maybe I'll have to let it play a little bit. So the biggest thing I had to do was take the stop-start mechanism, which is this pin, and there's a wire that comes down, around, over, through this little mount part, and then into the spinning vanish thing. So the original one had that pin and had that mount, and that mount was adapted to make it work by bending a new wire. This was the original wire, and you can see that it's a little on the short side, and it didn't quite reach the pin, it didn't quite reach the fan. So what I did is I just took some steel wire, which is this. This is one that I did bend, but wasn't quite long enough on one section of it. This part's overly long, but this part was too short. And so basically there's a hook. This is all one little assembly. Is a hook with a spring and a wire on it, and this hook goes underneath the second screw of the movement. So they're separate, but it came with my music box, and I'm just readapting it. So this wire I had to bend. It's just standard steel wire, but basically there's a spring right in this section here. It kind of comes along and it clips onto this wire, and then it also presses down into this little block here. So that's what caused it to spring. Nothing really to worry about, because it doesn't completely unwind when you let it go free. But to get it off, you basically just have this wire straight, slide the spring on, and then bend it, and then that spring presses into there and then clips onto the wire, and then you bend it a little bit to make it hold the wire better. And then on this section, it goes through a little hole, the wire goes through a little hole at the bottom of this brass pin. And that's what makes it stop and start. It took me a couple hours actually to get this wire perfect. You can see examples of rebends. This was the original one. But with playing with it, there's nothing really complicated about that. I think anybody can do it. I guess there's a little worry that maybe you might break the spring, because it'd be hard to find that spring, because you do have to kind of widen the opening that I was holding onto the old wire and then squeeze it back. But that's about it. The other thing I had to do is I had to notch the box. You can see that there was a bump out right there, and I just notched it. I could have done something else, but I think that was the easiest. I happen to have a square file. Could have used a scroll saw. But that's about it. A fairly simple project, but I've turned into this beautiful box that has excellent marquetry on it. Just burl wood, nice box for such $30. They're just, because of the movements, I think people are underestimating their value. Let me wind it up and show you how nicely the new music movement sounds in it. So this is Waltz of the Flowers by Tchaikovsky. So thank you. If you like this project, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Thank you. Bye-bye.